Hello everybody, it's Sean from Singapore Transportation 2581. Welcome back to another trip report. Right now, I'm at Seoul Incheon International Airport, and tonight we'll be flying on Korean Air's brand new Boeing 787-10 from Seoul to Honolulu, Hawaii, the Aloha state. Let's get started. Today our flight takes us 4,543 miles or 7,311 kilometers across the Pacific Ocean for about 7 hours. Our flight is scheduled to depart Seoul at 8:35 in the evening and arrive in Honolulu at 9:35 in the morning on the same day. We arrived at Seoul at 8 in the morning traveling from Singapore and spent the rest of our day at the transit hotel. Our journey begins here at Seoul Incheon International Airport Terminal 2, the newer of the two terminals. Terminal 2 opened on 18th January 2018 and serves Korean Air and its fellow SkyTeam Alliance members. I must say I was absolutely mind-blown when I saw Terminal 2. The mix of the natural lighting and vast architecture makes the airport look absolutely beautiful and gives a cozy and relaxing vibe. One thing I did notice, for the size of Terminal 2, I felt like the dining options were very limited in comparison with Terminal 1, which has a plethora of dining options. The one food court I found was small and overcrowded. If there was an area with a lot of dining options in Terminal 2, please correct me in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Eventually, we found a cafe in a quieter part of the terminal. It's always nice to catch a glimpse of the Queen of the Skies, especially the passenger variant. The passenger variant of the Boeing 747 has become increasingly rare, and the Dash 8, like the one you see here, is only operated by 3 airlines: Air China, Korean Air, and Lufthansa. Unfortunately, this will not be our aircraft on this flight, especially knowing that the 747-8 used to operate on this flight almost daily for a few years straight. Gate 276 is where we will be boarding our Boeing 787-10 for Honolulu. Apologies for the weird reflection, but here's the bird taking us across the Pacific to the Aloha state tonight. This is HL8535, a 4-month-old Boeing 787-10. At the time of filming, the 787-10 was Korean Air's newest widebody, which features its new business class and economy class seats. At the time of filming, Korean Air just took delivery of the Airbus A350, which only entered service the next month, in January 2025. Without further ado, let's board the aircraft. Now welcome aboard Korean Air's new Boeing 787-10. Economy class is configured in a standard 333 seating configuration, while Korean Air's business class, or prestige class as they call it, is in a 1-2-1 configuration. The color scheme on the economy class seats comes in 2 colors, dark blue and maroon. And in conjunction with the flight number, my seat today is 53A. Let's take a look at a couple of the seat features. For legroom was really good. At 5 foot and 11 inches tall, or 181 centimeters, I had plenty of space to move my legs around and sit down comfortably for a 7-hour flight. A pillow, a pair of slippers, and a blanket were waiting on the seat. And of course, a bottle of water. Universal power sockets were found underneath the seat. Headrests were also adjustable. You can also charge your device using the USB port. and there's a coat hook as well. You'll be hearing no complaints from me about the IFE. All the standard components were there: movies, TV shows, audios, shows for kids, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, everything was there. There was definitely a lot of things to choose from: documentaries, new releases, old movies. Quite a few Christmas movies and TV shows were also available. We traveled about 1 week before Christmas, so I guess that made sense. You also have this feature to filter out the genres you would like to watch. And now this is Korean Air's new safety video, which was honestly a bit weird with the CGI, but I guess it still did the job. We start pushing back right on time. And here's a small reminder on where we are heading to. As we say goodbye to Seoul and the captain turns off the seatbelt sign, I decide to start using the IFE. Here are the earphones they gave us. They aren't too bad. As dinner service was starting soon, I pulled down the tray table, and I just realized I did not show this earlier, but yeah, it was pretty clean, it was good enough. And wow, for economy class, this looks really good. So this is curry chicken with rice, and we have some mushrooms on the side, we have spiced pickles, we have a tiramisu, and we have some sweet nut bar or whatever this is, and we have seaweed soup. And of course it's very nice to have metal utensils. Honestly, I found the presentation a little weird when they put like 5 mushrooms inside a huge bowl and then all the rice and curry chicken squeezed into a little container, but it was really nice to eat it all together. There were actually 3 options for dinner on this flight. This was the Korean option, and the Western option was a beef stew or pasta, and I'm quite glad I went for the Korean option. Now there's actually not much to see because most of this flight is at night. The only time we see day again is when we approach the Hawaiian Islands. And what better option to getting into the Christmas spirit than watching this movie? Of course, a classic. About 3 hours before we land in Honolulu, the crew slowly started to wake up the cabin by putting on these really nice mood lights, meant to mimic the sunrise, a nice feature of the Boeing 787. After the cabin lights were fully turned on, the crew served breakfast, a second meal service on a 7-hour flight. It was definitely a pleasant surprise. This was the Western option: scrambled eggs with cheese, carrots, potatoes, ham, and spinach. I had it with orange juice, yogurt, fruits, and a freaking overly sweet muffin. Typically, breakfast on planes isn't that great. This wasn't any different, but I still appreciate getting a second meal on a 7-hour flight. The Korean option was congee, which I had absolute no interest for. Korean yogurt is awesome as always. As we approach the Hawaiian Islands soon, enjoy these views of the beautiful sunrise. About 15 minutes till landing, we finally catch a glimpse of the islands. Hawaii is actually made of 137 different islands, including 8 main islands. What you're seeing here is the north shore of Oahu. Oahu is home to the state capital, Honolulu. Hawaii became a part of the United States in 1959 as the 50th state, just after Alaska in the same year. Being surrounded by ocean, Hawaii is one of the most isolated places in the world, making Honolulu one of the most isolated cities in the world, besides Perth. The closest major city to Honolulu is San Francisco on the mainland United States. Hawaii is the southernmost state in the US and the only state to be located entirely in the tropics. Hawaii is a very sacred place to a lot of people. Hawaiian culture is very rich and diverse. It is a blend of ancient Polynesian traditions, including the Aloha spirit, which emphasizes respect, kindness, compassion, and a sense of community, reflecting the way of diverse groups living together in Hawaii. Hawaii to me is like a second home since I have some family living here, and it will always be a very special place to me as well. Now as this flight comes to an end, it's time to reflect. Korean Air is fantastic. Similarly to my previous trip report on Korean Air, there is barely anything I can complain about. For economy class service, I seriously think it's one of the best in the world. Maybe the only thing I can say is the crew is slightly less engaging than my previous flight, but honestly that's not even a problem. And maybe another thing I can say is the Boeing 787 is more crammed compared to the 777. And that's not even Korean Air's fault, since the Boeing 777 is a wider aircraft. And 2 meal services in a 7-hour flight, that's a bonus as well. So what would I rate this flight out of 100? Probably 92. It really was a great experience. Other airlines such as Asiana, Jin Air, and Hawaiian Airlines fly between Seoul, Incheon, and Honolulu as well. Whether or not they are good on this service, I'm not sure. Maybe next time, we'll see. So for now, enjoy the approach into Honolulu and the instrumental that Caleb and I recorded together. Aloha kakahiyaka everybody, and welcome to Daniel K. Inouye International Airport in Honolulu, Hawaii, the United States of America. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and joining me on this flight, and I hope to see you guys again soon, and thank you for 3,000 subscribers.